Hello, everybody. It's great to be here one more time. My name is Gary Fowler. I'm the CEO, president, founder of GSD Get Shit Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in the heart of Silicon Valley. I'm a 17-time serial entrepreneur with several unicorns under the belt. I was on the original management team at Click Software, which is sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion. Also, Eva.ai, an AI HR tech company that I co-founded with Dr. David Yang. We believe at GSD that intellectual capacity is evenly spread, but opportunities are not. So today on Choicely Presents, we have an incredible guest, Heather Lamb, General Manager, Bermuda Broadcasting Company. And today we're going to talk about the future of broadcasting, how AI is transforming media in small markets. So first of all, I want to welcome you all here, and I'm truly honored to be joined by an exceptional leader in this space, Heather. She's a general manager of Bermuda Broadcasting Company and the forefront of a remarkable digital transformation across Bermuda's largest multi-platform media organization. Under her leadership, the BBC is evolving from a traditional broadcaster into a dynamic digital-first powerhouse, launching the Bermuda Today app, expanding its podcast network, increasing live coverage, and pioneering new ways to elevate local storytelling. She brings over 15 years worth of high-level experience across media, financial services, and hospitality, with a proven track record in growth, digital innovation, and community engagement. She's not only modernizing how Bermudans consume news and entertainment, she's redefining what local media can be in the age of AI. Today, we'll explore the future of broadcasting, how AI is opening opportunities for local creators, and what it means to run a modern media and organization in one of the most unique markets in the world. So with that, I'd like to bring Heather onto the show. Hi, Heather.
Hi, good morning, Gary. How's it going?
Good to have you here. So, Heather, you've taken Bermuda Broadcasting through a major digital first transformation. What inspired you to take on this mission? And what was it like in the early days of change? And how far along are you in the journey?
Well, so that's a jam-packed question, but thank you. Well, it's first of all, I'm delighted to be here. So thank you again to Choicely and to you to spending some time with me today. I actually have been on this journey with Bermuda Broadcasting for just shy of 5 years. I started out more on the business development sales side, and a couple of years ago, I was invited to take over the helm as general manager. And it's been a steep learning curve. As you mentioned, my background is originally in hospitality and then also in financial services. And so taking some of those transferable skills into the broadcasting space has led me to this role, which has been the most challenging and the most exciting and the most dynamic that I have been through in life yet. So I'm really excited to be here. Bermuda Broadcasting, just to tell you a little bit more about who we are, we're a legacy company. So we've been around for 60 plus years. We are a traditional broadcaster with 2 television stations, local stations that happen to be affiliate stations for US networks, ABC and CBS. And then we also have 3 radio stations in our portfolio. So we cater to every demographic on the island. And we have now incorporated digital into our landscape, which is where the trajectory of this industry is going. Now it's not replacing what has been traditional, it's enhancing what is traditional and leveraging audience members to have access to multiple different levels of content at different times, predominantly really at their fingertips. So it's very timely that Bermuda is on this journey with Bermuda Broadcasting. We're probably a decade behind where maybe industry is with respect to the digitization. We are a small little island smack in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. We have a population size of 60,000, and we are the only broadcaster on the island. So we are not just local broadcaster, but we are the national broadcaster. And so we have a big role to play, both being a legacy company moving into the space, but also we have what we feel is a responsibility to meet our viewers and our listeners where they are. And you and I both know, Gary, that people are not sitting in front of a TV just waiting for content to be handed to them these days. They are all on a device. We all have a cell phone. We all either have an iPad or computer. and we want our content when we want it and on demand.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we're seeing, I have a frontier tech company that's doing a lot of innovative things with media. And one of the things we did, I had one of the producers from Hollywood send me a script and said, and I never had done this before, can you put this into the AI with camera angles and everything and use AI to generate the entire movie, right? And
Mhm.
so, and pretty well known uh, producer, director. Anyhow, so I did it and I was surprised. It actually created it. It actually, I had never done it before, but we have the tools. What it was interesting is that, Heather, we're going to be able to do hyper personalized viewing. So you're going to say, listen, I want to watch Superman, right?
Mhm.
But I want the ending to be a little bit different. Lois Lane comes back, they live happily ever after. I want to change the ending and I want to be in the movie. You know what I mean? I want to be play the role of Superman and the whole thing from Krypton out. You're going to be able to do that. And it's not that far away, right? This
No.
technology is like right at the cusp. And so I was amazed when we did that. In fact, I did one of them today. So we actually used that technology today to do a small thing just to see how it would work. But
Yeah.
you in small markets, you're right about often faces resource constraints. By the way, this is my AI. I call her Neem, which is my grandmother, because she has 14 large language models behind her, and she listens to everything, and she's very interested in you and the kind of things that you're doing there, right? So she's asking me questions, and this is what she just said. She
Okay.
said she says, ask Heather what roles she sees AI playing in leveling the playing field for organizations like Bermuda Broadcasting. Because in
Mhm.
fact, you could be a larger broadcaster, even though you've got a small footprint, you can be a larger because you know how to use the tools effectively. You see that happening, and how far is Bermuda Broadcasting going to go?
Yeah, I think what AI is certainly giving us the ability to do with respect to leveling the playing field is it's allowing us to come to market a lot more quickly. So it's helping us with our workflows. But what it isn't doing is removing the human element, removing the storytelling component. It's making us more efficient. It's giving us, I guess, what you could say, almost a superpower. We're enhancing the product. And so what we can do is we can deliver quicker, faster, and always keep in the forefront and in the minds of our viewers and our listeners that there is still an authentic voice behind it. There is still a credible human element that is providing that storytelling connection that allows us to be able to be relevant to our community.
You've launched new digital products like the Bermuda Today app and
Mhm.
this expanded podcast network. Where's AI already showing immediate value in these platforms from your perspective?
Well, certainly Bermuda Today app, which was launched in the summer of this year, has really given us an opportunity, first and foremost, to meet our audience where they are. And so we've seen that an audience as well with respect to giving them an additional platform to consume content, but it also has given us the ability to reach audience members and groups that we never would have been able to have done it in a traditional medium sense. With the app itself, we're able to leverage not only our local content in a more immediate fashion. So we're actually not sitting and holding on to stories to report them at the 7 o'clock newscast. We are actually getting those stories out in a more efficient and a more dynamic fashion. We obviously, as a broadcaster, are known for video content. So we're able to upload and send out our video content. And then through that and through AI tools, we can leverage the workflow to be able to give us a better, stronger social media presence, which will help grow our audience, which will direct people back to either our website or to the app. And then there is the component of when we go out to do live events. So we do a number of local live events, sporting events, and cultural events on the island. And we're actually able to feature those events live right from our app. There is an engagement piece. People can, answer polls. We can figure out what's trending. And on the flip side of that, what that helps us do is be able to have very meaningful and intentional conversations with advertisers who want to have the data provided to them as far as, what is trending and what are the stories that we can align with, or where can we spend, put in some dynamic ad insertions that basically the Bermuda Today app at some point, if you think about it in the not too distant future, is it's going to know exactly what you like and what you're interested in. And we're going to be able to, at some point, be able to give you a more personalized experience through that app using AI tools that's going to push stories, it's going to push notifications that when a story of that caliber comes along, that we're going to make sure that you know about it first and foremost. So that's the exciting dynamic part of this. And then being able to monetize that on the flip side, advertisers get really excited about that too.
Yeah, no, I love it. This, I've been talking about hyper personalization since 2016 and building, pre-transformer models with variational autoencoder ladder networks, ontology, those kind of things. I'm a psychologist, a humanistic psychologist. So, the thing is, what's interesting, Heather, with your app, the one thing, and I've written about 800 articles, right? And about 50 about this topic was building empathy and compassion into the models so it cares about you, right? It
Mm-hmm.
kind of like your grandmother. I call my tool Neen, which is my grandmother's name, and actually with her voice and her look. And these kind of things are important because you get things like unconditional love that comes
Mm-hmm.
into the play, and that's the one thing it's missing out of these apps. And if a BBC, if you go out and have that embedded into your tool, imagine how sticky it gets for people because it knows
Mm-hmm.
you care about them.
Yes. Yeah. No. So that's sort of, obviously it's not right now, but it's where we can go in the future, and which is kind of exciting, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to continue to be relevant to your viewers and your listeners. And the one thing that we will always strive for, and that we are very proud of, is that our currency, truly about who and what we are, is really about trust. And we have built a very strong foundation of trust with our community here in Bermuda, and we need to stay on top of that. And having that sort of credibility in the market and in the community is key. And although AI is enhancing our tools and our workflows and our capability to be quicker to market with our storytelling, we actually are now providing the journalist and the reporter the opportunity to spend more time on that human element, to spend more time um, on that actual connection with the community, and to be more creative. And yes, you need to do the fact checking, and yes, you need to make sure that leadership is editing and providing that oversight, because AI is not replacing storytelling, but really making sure that we continue to be credible and that we maintain the trust of our community.
As this, what you said, Heather, as you modernize the organization, what process from editing to production to audience analytics are you including in that AI driven transformation? And how much progress are you seeing?
So we're still very much in the early stages. Again, we had our launch, and it's been more of a soft launch in the market here in Bermuda, but we tend to go a little harder in the coming months with respect to the Bermuda Today app, and really increase our opportunity to connect more with the community. We are currently utilizing many AI tools, for example, in the workflow, particularly as it pertains to being able to use the same video clip or the same audio clip, providing sort of the ability to translate that into small shorts for social media, to be able to put together reels and posts for social media, again, to drive traffic back to the website, back for the downloads for the app. We're also being able to obviously summarize in a lot of cases. For example, very often, every day, our news reporter will get a half a dozen press releases. And so we're able to take some of those press releases and put them in an AI tool. And, we always want to be able to get that content out there, but we don't have to spend hours and hours rewriting a press release. We can use an AI tool to help us to do that. And so those posts are getting up on our website a lot quicker, for example. Yes, we can keep with respect to our podcast launch. So we just recently launched our first podcast series on our Bermuda Today app and on our website. So using an AI tool, providing summaries, providing closed captions, being able to do those social media reels and clicks, give us that ability to, again, push that product out there more and more. So we're still very much on the beginning stages, but we're also looking on the flip side, not just for our audience members with respect to viewership and listeners, but some of our advertisers as well. So as you can imagine, here in Bermuda, we have a number of small businesses, and a lot of them do not have huge marketing budgets, or they can't go out and spend thousands of dollars on a video commercial, let alone maybe just a few hundred to get a small campaign to get going. There's some fantastic AI tools out there that we've been able to incorporate in our portfolio that we can work with an advertiser and say, okay, that AI tool is going to scroll your socials. It's going to scroll your website. You're going to give us a little creative direction as far as what is the look, the feel, the aesthetic. And within a 60-second opportunity, we can produce a 30-second commercial for you based on all of that data. And then we can do it in a very affordable way to make sure that you can get your messaging out there. So there's so many great ways that AI is helping us help our customers as well.
One of the things she just wrote me, she said, ask Heather, have you thought about, an island life series so people can understand how different Bermuda is from some of the other islands with some pubs. It says in here pubs and those kind of things, bread pudding and
Yeah.
pie and all that stuff. So, but I don't think people know. I've been to Bermuda personally, so I understand it.
Yes.
But it is rather different, and people don't realize how close it is, right? It's not that far away.
No, we're 90 minutes from the East Coast of the US. I mean, in 90 minutes, you'll be in New York, which is phenomenal. In 2.5 hours, you'll be in Florida. So we're super duper close. We have daily flights in and out of the US, Canada. We have connections with the UK. Obviously, we are a British colony, but we are self-governing as well. So we have our own premier and our own legislative system here on island. And yeah, I mean, we will explore any opportunity for content to be highlighted on our podcast. So we've led with Think Pink, which is tourism and hospitality driven. That is a big part of who we are on the island. And of course, the other sectors such as international business play a huge role in our economy here on the island. So we started with Think Pink, but yeah, we have lots of ideas of where we're going to go with our podcast network, and really start sharing and highlighting Bermuda's voices.
Do you see AI helping journalists discover hyperlocal stories or understand audience sentiment in new ways?
I think they do help us, certainly in a way that AI tools will tell us what's on trend, what are people connecting to, who in our community or what in our community is resonating. Do we take a deeper dive? Could there be a potential for more investigative reporting or an expose or an exclusive? You have no idea. I mean, what was really interesting a few weeks ago, one of our main artery roads into the city of Hamilton, coming from the West End, there was unfortunately a car accident, and it closed down traffic during peak, or closed down thoroughfare to come through into the city, and the entire road was closed off for an entire day. And our number one trending story for 30 days actually happened to be this particular incident. Meanwhile, there were so many other things that were happening, so many other stories that we thought perhaps would take over as a precedent for that time period. And it was actually, everybody was more interested about the road accident and why that road was closed for more than 24 hours. So it does help shape where reporters may decide to go. Obviously, again, we are objective, unbiased. That's where how we want to be recognized. We want to present a level playing field to everybody and highlight the day's news everywhere. But when there is a trend, we absolutely will take it and run with it, I guess you could say.
With deep fakes and misinformation on the rise, what role must local broadcasters play in preserving trust? And I mean, because I don't know about you, but I go online, I don't know what's real or not. There's like
That's
these
right.
funny animal videos, like the dog doing some, I don't know if it's real. Honestly, I have no idea.
No,
And
and I think, and that's where the human element ties in with AI, right? I mean, we have people who, I mean, reporters by nature, I think, are extremely curious. They're very tenacious about seeking out the truth, and they're very passionate about getting to the truth of the story, and will relay that truth story. And I have to say that I'm very proud of our team here at Bermuda Broadcasting. They will be relentless in making sure it is an honest, trustworthy news source, or a clip or a video or whatever it may be, and not take it just at face value. They really do their fact checking and do their homework before it ever goes out to the public. And because we have a fantastic executive producer and news editor who goes through that with a very meticulous eye, I have to say that we haven't come across a situation where we've had to remove those types of things in the past.
no, that's fantastic. So, Heather, where do you see the biggest opportunities for collaboration between local broadcasters and independent creators? Because there's a lot of content out there that's untapped, right?
Abs- I
And then
know.
empowered by AI.
Yeah.
We talked about the advertising part, but how do you
Yes.
take, like, life on the beach and some of the beautiful, things that happen in Bermuda and really highlight? I mean, you could almost like a travel show, right? You could actually do one right about Bermuda, and there's so many different things you could do it for quite some time.
Yeah, I think, there is a wonderful opportunity here for us to connect with so many different local content creators on so many different levels. And we're starting to be able to see more and more of them coming to the woodwork, coming out of the woodwork and coming to want to work with us, because we're able to leverage a multi-platform approach. So it's not always just, is it suitable for digital, or could it also be translated and suitable for television and radio as well? And we tend to be a one-stop shop for all of that. Certainly digitally, we are heavily focused on making sure that we are constantly refreshing and updating our content on our feeds, because as you know, the internet is an incessant beast and will always want to be fed. However, some of that can translate into more notable pieces that could be suitable for television. And so it's been a wonderful opportunity for us to create a space for content creators to leverage our platforms. AI helps us with, what aligns with where the market is going, what stories are resonating, what ways that the storytelling is being told, because there are so many unique vantage points or perspectives. So AI tools can help us with that, with either summarizing, again, managing how that is portrayed in a video format, and then what tools are we leveraging, what AI tools do we leverage going out to market.
So, she says, if you had unlimited budget for innovation, what AI-driven initiatives would you implement immediately at Bermuda Broadcasting?
Unlimited budget.
Mhm.
Um, Gosh, that's a really, really great question. It's sort of like, Heather, you could do whatever you want. Um, I would say that content is king for us, as it is for any broadcaster. And we always want more of it. If we had the ability to take away all of the minutia, all of the sort of sticky points that make production so very intensive and not necessarily labor intensive, but it could be paperwork, it could be administration. If there was a way to remove all those sort of barriers and have our reporters or our content creators just go out there and enjoy the creative element, and just to be able to produce more in a more seamless way, and then have that content available really, really quickly, then absolutely. I think it would be enhancing and increasing volume, whilst maintaining quality.
Yeah, and then she does. Now she's got one on the out of the ballpark. She said, "What's life like in Bermuda with the 60,000 people when you virtually know everybody?" So how does that
It's
change?
exactly that.
Is it like family or friction? Is it like what is it like?
Well, you can't get away with anything. So I'll just throw it out there like that. We are a very small, tight knit community. Um, you've heard of the expression, there's 6 degrees of separation between people. Certainly in Bermuda, I would say there's 2 degrees of separation. We often fondly refer to our friends as cousins. Everybody's your cousin in Bermuda. But it can be at times, it can be a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't be as anonymous as you want to be. Let's put it that way. People know you, they know your business, or they know your family, or what have you. So you really can't,
You can't get away
apart
with
from
it.
that. You can't get away from that.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's interesting. So there's
It's
not
like
a
any small town.
yeah, yeah, no, I know. I grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania. We had well, actually, my town we had 500 people, but the closest larger town was like 30,000 people, and it was the
Hmm.
same way there. It was unbelievable. So one thing happened. I mean, if somebody got divorced, everybody knew. If somebody started cheating and things, everybody would talk about it. And so
Yes.
kind of
Yeah.
put the pressure on. So people were really well, they watched what they were doing. So you had to
Yeah.
kind of be.
Yeah. Yeah, but also when one thing happens to a part of the community, it really happens to everybody. And so, when there is, for example, something that's unsavory or untoward that happens, it really does affect everybody. And there's a very strong emotional connection and emotional tie to, for example, some of the stories that we tell that maybe are really hard stories, whether it be because of a murder or whatever, things of that
Do
nature.
they have murder
It's
in,
really,
Bermuda? How do you get away with murder with 60,000 people?
it happens. I mean, we're not immune to anything here. We're just like everywhere else in the world. But obviously we're in relation to other places. It's not something that happens every day. It's once in a blue moon. However, when it does happen, obviously it does hit very hard.
Wow. Okay. So we're coming up to the top of the show, Heather. So closing thoughts and what's the best way for people to reach out to Bermuda Broadcasting?
Well, just really, I think some what I just want to impart is that this is the way that life is going. We have to embrace it. We have to figure out how we want to use it. We want to use it smartly. We want to use it efficiently. AI is here and it's not going anywhere. I think what I want people to remember is that there will always be that human element that will be incredibly important, and that the two work in tandem. They don't work against each other, they work with each other. And this is the exciting part of being where we are in this trajectory. But we are still learning and we are still growing, and the needs of whether it be our audience members or our listeners will continue to change as well, and that will drive where we go in the market. But we will always want to be where they are. And so if AI can help us get there, then we're part of the journey. We're looking forward to it. So again, if anybody wants to reach out or has questions, or would love to chat further about it, I'm open to that. I can be reached on our website, bbc.bm is our website. My email address is on the contact us page, which is hlam@bbc.bm. But yeah, or certainly reach me through LinkedIn.
Thank you so much, Heather, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today for Choicely Presents. My
Thank
name is
you.
Gary Fowler, and I'm your host. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy, and have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll be back again soon with another exciting edition. Thank you, Heather.
Thanks.